Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Beautiful day, right? Gorgeous day. I had quite a day. My name is Maureen Calamia, by the way. I'm from St. James. Certified Feng Shui consultant, as well as a building biology practitioner, which I'm greeted with lots of but it really is just an extension of Feng Shui, and it's really creating environments that are healthy, but mostly healthy for humans. So we're here to talk about the power of the 5 elements in Feng Shui. And I am going to give a bit of an introduction to Feng Shui concepts because I know it would be probably a bit much if I kind of jumped right into the 5 elements. Most people here probably understand the 4 elements that we use in Western culture. We've got fire, water, air, and you should know that I do Western astrology. But there's 5 elements in Western, in Chinese culture. That's why you have questions.
I was wondering if you could speak a little louder on
Oh.
that.
Yes, certainly, thank you. So we're going to, and actually, I will pass around the handouts. Okay. So let's see how far that goes. Okay. So who am I? I already explained who I am. Kind of why are we here? I always like to kind of hear, I'm not going to go around the room, it's too big of a crowd, but I just wanted to get a feel for your knowledge of Feng Shui. So how many here have read a book, at least one book about Feng Shui? Okay, so I'd say about half the room. Okay, great. And the other half, you've just heard about it pretty much? I'm curious, what is this about? Okay. You probably heard little tidbits and tips from people who are passing on TV. So that's great. Has anyone here had a Feng Shui consultation before? Very few people do. I always love to have somebody in the audience that can share their experience. But, okay, great. So we're going to just dive right into it. What is Feng Shui? And really, just kind of getting to the essence of it. Feng Shui is about how we feel in our environment. It's as simple as that. It's very unquantifiable, very unmeasurable, but you know when you feel right in space and you know when you don't. There's also times when you feel like kind of neutral, you're not really sure, I'm all right here, I'm all right here. Sometimes people are averse to change and they don't want to change their environment. They have more of a thing about change. But once, if it is kind of inauspicious Feng Shui or harmful Feng Shui for them, when they correct it, they go, wow, what a difference. Now I know how it feels to feel good. So sometimes we become desensitized in our environment, to our environment. So there's a quote by Christopher Day, a noted Welsh architect. He's written many books about architecture. And he says, most of the time, we don't notice our surroundings, and then they work on us without any conscious resistance on our part. It just goes to show that most of the time we walk right past, we're oblivious to what's in our environment. Just imagine at home, you might have this pile of clutter by your door that you walk past every day. We're not objective in our own homes because they're our homes. We're there all the time, walking in and out. It's hard to be objective about your own space. Or your office. You could have an office that is very uninspiring, but it's work, whatever, and you're in there and you're out. But it doesn't mean that the bad Feng Shui in that space isn't affecting you, even if you're just oblivious to it. So it can work on you without even knowing, without you even knowing it. So that's basically what Christopher Day is saying. So we've got environments that are what I call life-sapping. They just drain the energy right out of you. And case in point is Penn Station. It's bright as anything. It's all white, it's all metal. There's really no recognition of the human factor here. It's just utilitarian. It just has a purpose, and there it is. There's no thought at all to how we feel in the environment. Versus Grand Central. Anyone who's been into that rotunda in Grand Central knows, as soon as you enter, what the architects meant is what we feel, right? All of a sudden, your energy just lifts. It feels wonderful. So that is, a perfect illustration of a Feng Shui, a really good Feng Shui place, is making you feel really good. Of course, churches have it down, right? Most churches, especially the older churches, just a big expanse, the beautiful stained glass windows, the wood, they just make you feel good when you go in. So Feng Shui is a Taoist art. That's the foundations of Feng Shui. It talks about the Tao. So all things in the universe emerge from the Tao, which really the Tao is nothingness. It's total emptiness. So out of total nothingness, all things have emerged. And through division and differentiation, 10,000 myriad things are created. And that's just the Chinese, when they say 10,000 myriad things, they mean everything in the universe. They just put that term to it. But underneath their transient nature, all things share an underlying structure, which is qi. Qi is energy, and energy is in every single thing. It's in every living thing, and it's every inanimate. So it's everywhere. It's what propels life, movement, change, flux, because life and, life and nature is all about change. There's constant change. There's no stopping change, right? Without qi, there is no life. That's it. Feng Shui is the art and science of learning the patterns of qi and how and where to live to get the most beneficial effects. So, I think I'm going to skip a few of these slides because we have quite a bit here. So why bother with Feng Shui? What's the point, somebody might ask? Well, the foundation of Feng Shui is feeling secure and in a good spot. So just imagine the ancient Chinese over 4,000 years ago had to find a site for their home. Of course they had all this land, right? If we could be that lucky to choose pristine land to build our homes. So they would scour the landscape and they would use these concepts of Feng Shui, which of course wasn't termed Feng Shui at the time, but it was just common sense. You want to put your home in a space that makes you feel secure and in power, in kind of control. I mean, you're never in control, but it make you feel in control. So those spaces that gave you those qualities also then in turn made you feel secure. I mean, comfortable, right? If you're secure, you're comfortable. And then you're at ease. And what happens when you're at ease? Abundance and happiness just flows. You're just kind of right in the path. So the Chinese were citing homes based on the feeling of security and power, and they knew that their families would thrive in that environment. So, they would site their homes near a river, so they would have water to irrigate their crops, and they would have fresh water to wash with. They would make sure there was a solid mountain behind their home, so they could feel stable and secure. They would also look for features, hills or trees and vegetation that would surround their home, kind of like this. It's called the armchair position. Just imagine a really comfortable armchair, right? You've got a nice solid back, you've got nice comfortable arms, and you're sitting right in the middle, the dantian. You're sitting right in the middle. So that's where they would put their homes, right with the scenes, with the river out in front of them. So it was just made a lot of sense. It's also, these concepts are actually the foundation of environmental psychology. It really is. I mean, the scientists go, people, if they're more comfortable, they work better, and there's more productivity, and there's more profit. So when the science out of it, it really is Feng Shui concepts.